Hello, everyone. We have a mysterious, effervescent, amazing person with us.
She's literally bubbly.
Drum roll, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm not effervescent.
We have the Omega. She has come over. She's over for almost 2 weeks, so we're doing one cinema vlog. Possibly another if we're crazy. Unlikely, though. And we're going to do a marathon. Now, this is going up on Wednesday or so of next week. We're going to Edinburgh in about 4 hours, so...
Not really.
Well, not 4 hours, but
Stop
still.
hyperbolizing.
We are going... so I do not have time to extract and upload this tonight. So, you're not going to get this for days.
Days and days.
This is like Friday last week. Hi, from the past.
We're Time Lords again. We seem to do that a lot.
Yes, we do. You need to speak loudly.
We're Time Lords! Oh, sorry.
Don't peek the audio.
I'm sorry.
Look, there's an audio monitor for a reason. Get in shot.
Oh.
That's better.
Get
in shot.
Get in the middle.
That's better.
So what did we see?
We saw The Conjurer. No. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, this is the same director, same writer, same...
Everything.
Oh, it wasn't the same writer. That wasn't Leilani.
I'm pretty sure it had some of the same sets.
Yeah, it's like... What is this? You know, in America, you've got various styles of building. You've got Gothic, you've got Baroque, you've got Contemporary, and you've got Haunted, and all the Haunted ones look the fucking same.
Yeah, they do. They've all got random rocking chairs, floral wallpaper, light switches that don't make sense.
No, but that house wasn't haunted. It was just haunted while things happened.
It's sort of... It's Amityville House. All these ones, it's all horror movies, all of the same type of house.
Well, regardless of the haunting or not, it was a beautiful house. It would have been an actual house.
It was Insidious.
The kitchen had this this really great, like... old kind of like looked like it was a steel cast white porcelain painted sink, and then I'd have lived there.
That's called a Belfast sink.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool kind of sink.
It was Insidious 2. Now, for those hardcore Insidious fans out there, the hardcore Insidious fans out there who I hear are called Insidioizers.
Not Insidioids?
Maybe that's a better name. It's a better joke. Congratulations, you did better than me.
I hear they're rather insidious.
But we have none of us have seen Insidious 1. This one had a tenuous idea of what happened in the film. I had no fucking clue, and this one knew even less than me.
No, but I figured it out through context.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying going into this.
Oh, right.
So if there's any questions or complaints that we have that is explained properly by Insidious 1, sorry, we were all walking into this one just as though it was a standalone film.
If you know, write the show.
So, I always do a plot summary in a stupid way, but I'm going to do a plot summary in a stupid way.
We loved the lesbian scene.
I did love the lesbian scene.
What about
I just
you, honey?
had to look to the right.
Wait a sec, the film didn't have a lesbian scene.
However,
however, the vlog might. Haha!
And not safe for work.
Why is that not safe for work? That is the most chaste kiss I've ever seen.
I don't know. It's gay. And
You're gay.
I know, it's the point.
It was just awkward at this angle.
Can I be gay?
If you want.
I don't think I can.
But anyways.
So anyway, weird CGI-faced old woman is a superhero, and then she spends her death being a dead superhero. There we go, I've summed up the entire story for you.
She went to heaven, and then she decided just to hang around with her guys who dressed like Mormons. And then they dressed like... Okay, these guys, they went in there to be the backup for this beardy guy who was going in to be like undercover ghost guy.
That's like totally not what
That's
happened
another
at all.
crossover with The Conjuring. They have the weird backup comedy relief characters who are totally in a gay relationship.
I think that I should probably... Alright, so here's the thing. So there's this kid, and he can see stuff, you know.
I see dead people.
Your usual, like, I can see dead people kind of
Much
stuff.
like Titanic, I see dead people.
That'd be great. And so his mom calls him spiritualist, and she's like, "Oh no, he done seen something. Stop it! He done seen something scary, but he'll never remember this and stuff." And so then
That fixes it. And
all of a sudden, he's an adult with a wife that he's been married to for 12 years, 2 boys and a little girl, and the boy was in a coma. Then he came back, and he was in a coma, and they got the spiritual woman who got the guy as an adult. Stop it! Got the guy as an adult to go into the spirit world and get him, and then he came back, and then we're moving backwards in the car, but then he killed the old woman, or he's under suspicion of murder. That's the last we ever hear about it. And then all sorts of things go cattywampus, and actually it was this other guy.
We've reached the first actual plot hole here. They established that his body is being haunted,
Mm-hmm.
and it was his body that was used to kill the old woman, Lorraine or Elaine or Elise or whatever she was called.
It was Elise. 'Cause
everybody-
Lorraine was the mom.
Everybody's favourite Aunt Elise. I wrote a song for it. But anyway, yet it was his hands that were used, but the forensics said it wasn't. Does the ghost change your fingertips?
I don't know how that ended up working out, but then the forensic, the investigation was like over apparently, or like, because at first the policeman's interrogating the wife and she's like, "Tell me what happened." She's like, "Well, our son was in a coma and no one could tell us why, so we got the spiritualist." He's like, "Yeah, the deceased." She's like, "Yeah, well, my husband went into the spirit world and stuff," and the policeman's like, "Excuse me, what? Wait, what?" "Well, I'm just saying." And yeah.
That plot hole season, that thing only happened because of one reason. Because they forgot to cast a black guy in a person in any other part in the rest of the film. Death has never been so white.
Yeah,
That's
literally
true.
every ghost was a white person.
Yeah, it's
They could have been black, but they had the life sucked out of them and makes them
like
pasty
80%.
and
It's like
Does that mean that white people have no souls?
yes. About 80% of the way through the filming it, they were like, "Oh shit, we forgot to cast any black people."
I thought it was going to be really good. I thought they were finally going to show a haunting movie where all of the random deaths and destruction and property damage and breaking in had consequences with the police. But no.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, this was going to be an actual murder investigation. Although we did see a lot of property damage, and I think it's going to cost someone a lot of money.
Also, they broke into your house and they found 15 corpses in trays.
Okay.
Did they tell anybody about that?
Here's the thing about that. So, apparently, back in 1986, the mom was a doctor, and she had this patient, Parker Crane, and he was in for attempting to castrate himself, and he ends up committing suicide in the hospital. The nurse says, "Oh, well, he jumped to his death." And I'm like, why was this not a full hospital investigation? The patient's allowed to commit suicide, especially in a hospital where he should have been placed under some kind of psychiatric evaluation or some kind of watch. He's obviously self-harmed, but whatever. So this was in 1986. Present day, now they go back to her ruined hospital, and I had no problem with that. I just had problems with the medical records still being there,
Yeah.
undisturbed. Because
Bullshit.
abandoned hospitals and abandoned buildings, you have urban explorers, you have kids, you have looters.
We have stoners.
Yeah, like I don't think the medical records would have been there. But
Why did the doctor woman not know that the guy had committed suicide? She was looking after him.
yeah,
Yeah.
she had a day. Well, she had a day off.
Well, nurses gossip like shit. There's no way she could have reached the end of her workday without like, "Oh my god, did you hear this guy died?"
That's true, because
That
she
would've
was
been local
she
news.
was going home for the day. So yeah, if it had been a good hospital, especially back in 1986, that would have been all over
Also,
the
it would have
place.
been over local news.
Yeah.
And but I want to know. Okay, the woman, they're going to the ICU, and then suddenly, just by chance, they're like, "Oh, did anything? What happened? What was this room?" Because
No, he was psychically drawn to that place.
yeah, well, still. And then they're like, "Oh, what happened here?" And they go, "Oh, well, I had this run-in with this guy who committed suicide." And then, of course, that just happens to be the one they're after.
Yeah, but it was an ICU. 10 people die there a week.
Why was the
Yeah, but see,
mother-
he was already
connected?
the guy who died. I think he was already connected by the mother. That's a problem that I have, but I'll get that to later. But so they find his address in the chart. Now it's conceivable that that was his actual address when he was admitted. The house is boarded up, but it's just as though it had been left. And here's my thing: even if someone else owned the house,
It would have been foreclosed.
it would have. Well, no. Even if like the family had owned the house and it was already all paid off and stuff like that, eventually those kinds of estates get turned over to somebody, be it the county or the
state.
township, or there's something's done with that house.
Even the bank, because after you die, your debts don't disappear. They tend to take your stuff until they've got enough to pay it.
Yeah, like I'd be okay with this was someone else's house, or this is a house that was in the process of oh well, look, fortunately the owners just moved out and they find all this crap in the basement, like in a hidden room. I'd be cool with that. But a house standing vacant for 27 years, especially with so many corpses in it.
And the corpses were less decayed than the rest of the
No,
house.
because they were embalmed. That's what all the medical stuff was there
Yeah.
for.
I know, but they look too fresh, even for embalmed.
Oh,
Even if you fill the corpse with formaldehyde, there will be some decay.
that's true.
Trust me.
What is it? We can't have a
Wait,
single
skip.
vlog without you suggesting you're doing something illegal.
Now, I was confused because I didn't know which ghost was like the mother was around, but was Parker inhabiting? Like he was called Parker several times, but when they kill the mother, I don't even.
Parker was inhabiting the body, but his mother had control over him and was forcing him to.
So his mother was just an extra ghost who could manifest corporeally anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Parker's mother was causing Parker to do all of the bad things
Okay.
throughout his life and his afterlife.
Like, so there were very competent stuff going on, but I think they tried to do too much. Like, the real guy is trapped in the death realm, while the horrible insidious thing is inhabiting his body doing insidious things. So I thought that was like the fact that he was not yet dead but in the land of the dead, I thought was symbolized by the fact that he has like a halogen camping lamp that he shines around. And I like the idea of unsettled dead in the dark wandering around a shadow version of the world just going insane. I thought that was cool.
That brings back so much ethos as well. The ferryman always had a lantern because he wasn't dead. Stuff like that.
But then, I thought the reason that the bearded man was able to carry the lantern was because you find out, oh, he's not supposed to be there either. But then when his son comes to rescue him, he doesn't have a lamp. So I was like, well, there goes that
No,
metaphor.
well, he does have a tether.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So maybe you always have some kind of physical and if you've played Wraith the Oblivion, you know. And I thought that was cool,
I thought they were attempting to make Hellraiser 2 after the first thing I was wrong. Because Hellraiser 2 featured extended bits where main characters were going into the Hellraiser hell, sort of having a maze and having shit going in there.
But it wasn't. But it wasn't hell because there was nobody tormenting them except themselves.
Hell in.
It was a hell, but it was all a hell of their own creation.
So who was the ghost that it was in the past, and why the fuck can ghosts time travel?
Because time isn't...
It's relative.
Time doesn't exist in death. It's another common concept that wasn't really explored, but the ghost that went back to the past was...
Josh.
Josh. Because
who was the person
the actor
that they were
kind of looked like
fighting?
Michael Nelson, just a bit.
Who was the ghost that was like, who he...
It was the same woman.
No, it was a guy who was not
No, but
Parker.
the woman was bothering young Josh, right? The woman ghost was bothering young Josh, right?
But who was the one that he followed? He's got your baby.
That was just a random
That was just like a random...
No, the person who had the baby.
Oh.
We saw...
the weird Baron Samedi guy.
Either Baron Samedi or looked like King Diamond.
I think that might have been from the first movie. If anybody knows this, please let us know.
Well, yeah,
that's my theories. It was from the first movie.
They were recreating a part from the first film, just from another perspective, like Back to the Future. But who was that ghost? Because otherwise, it's.
I think that ghost was the ghost of Insidious 1, maybe.
No, that was Parker, according to this one. He was trying to become. He wanted to.
No. Here's my thing.
Okay.
I think that this is that family, right? This is what I suspect, having not seen Insidious 1. That family story revolved around something with the baby. The kid was in a coma and stuff like that. And this is kind of like the origins of Josh and why he can do things and stuff. That's what I suspect.
But the information, the thought I got was that the ghost was always Parker first of all trying to take over the kid when he was in the coma, so then he could have a childhood, and then end up with the dad. But I could be wrong. I haven't.
Not. Oh, the Dalton. You mean the second kid?
No, the first one the kid in the coma. They were trying to get the kid into the body.
That was Dalton.
Oh, was that Dalton?
Yeah.
Josh is the dad. They were trying to get. Then they got into Josh.
I remember thinking, is Dalton a name?
Well, I have a friend named Brendan Dalton. That's his last name, though.
I have a friend named Champagne.
Really?
Yeah. Hi. I don't know if she watches it. She doesn't watch this. It's a horrible name.
Hi, Sarah.
I don't know if she watches this. She watches some of them.
Aaron watches. Sarah's Aaron's girlfriend.
I know.
She watches.
I pay attention when people say stuff.
She's been in one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, there was some stuff that was competent if you do, like, add a few lines or subtract a few lines to the script. I liked the kind of lone gunman ghost hunters. I thought they were pretty cool. They were kind of funny.
He was literally a bear.
It was great.
I liked the whole thing of touching his leg and then just the... I thought that was well done.
Bear Ninja Hunter was amusing. Just the fact they changed Paper Rock Scissors to Bear Ninja Hunter. Now,
it was great.
Bear kills Ninja, Ninja kills Hunter, Hunter kills Bear.
Makes sense.
Well, ninjas would be defeated by a bear, but that point was brought up in the film anyway.
But it had your standard jump scares. The problem was that...
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't really see horror movies all that often. I like my horror to be conceptually horrible.
That's better.
Yeah,
definitely.
like, oh, Jesus, that happened. Wow, literal concept of that is just horrifying. But
So there's several different types of horrors. You've got the ones which are conceptually horrible, and usually they work best with ones that are with directors who are very skilled. Then you've got the more generic ones, which usually use either a lot of gore or jump scares or both.
well,
The problem I have with jump scares isn't that it's like it's the bitch is in the cupboard, the bitchy goes blah. It's we're gonna give you all this build up, and it's like, hey honey, how you doing? Blah! It's like soundtrack. It's just a guy saying hello.
It would have been really great if like instead of it being a jump scare, like a hand came out of the popcorn right as I was reaching for it.
Oh, we should all do the Insidious noise that plays whenever Insidious is on screen.
Okay, ready?
And then, of course, it's like that. So it's like, Insidious!
Really loud,
And
really
then
loud.
really soft. He's just like, I'm sorry, chapter 2. I got overexcited.
It's like the title itself is a jump scare.
It's like Evil Dead 4. Evil Dead 4 did that as well. But that's to be expected. It's yelling at you.
I mean, like I said, there was some competent storytelling in this, and there were parts where I was generally interested, like figuring out, okay, things and stuff. But so when you first see the face of the woman, I laughed.
Yeah.
She goes, "Get away from that child!" Whoosh, and bitch slaps the woman.
How dare you!
And I just couldn't stop laughing. And she
I was
was
laughing too.
She was done up like a 1940s makeup, but the dress that she was wearing was kind of a little bit earlier.
The dress that she was wearing was based on a style sort of from the sort of early 1900s Victorian era.
Yeah.
It was a maid's dress, but it was cut with a bustle, which means that it was actually a high-class cut dress. But some of the stitching work on it was very clearly 2012.
So I guess the whole thing was that she is no longer with the husband or killed her husband or something like that. And she takes it out on her child, Parker, and says, "That's the name your father gave you. Your name is Marilyn," and raises him as a little girl. But I mean, if he was looked like in his mid-50s, and
He was 66.
okay, so if he was 66 in 1986, this would have been the 20s. But it felt earlier, like a nursery was really falling out of style in America in the 20s. I mean, if you had made him older and maybe put it around the turn of the century, that was good. But she felt like a 1940s or 50s kind of mommy dearest. It just, it was so scattered. Like, I really thought that it was going to be that she was this serial killer. And when she became too frail and unable to physically kill, forced her son to do it, kind of like, like Psycho.
I thought that's what they were intending, I thought. Maybe I
No, because they
misunderstood.
said she always made him kill. He wore this black bride outfit to kill women. And there was never really a good reason given for why she wanted these women dead. Like a few lines of dialogue for her explaining, like maybe because her husband left her for another woman, so she hated young, pretty women. Just some background on her.
Well, maybe they had that, but then they realised how shitty an actor they were and just left the parts that were intentionally hammy.
And also, I was thinking that the whole, like, the kind of perfect woman, with a perfect pretty girl, it just felt so done. It felt done. What I was thinking is I wanted to see her kind of like, strung out and crazy. Like old meth lady, but back before meth. Like somebody really, really out there. That would have felt more real. I mean, I see too much of mental illness, is in this little tropey way, but it's not. I mean, if you watch like Hoarders or, any of those shows, or you go down to the bus station, like mentally ill people rarely act the way they're supposed to in movies.
Americans put their mentally ill in bus stations instead of
No, but
hospitals?
like because of people in public, like, okay, in Philadelphia anyway, there's a lot of homeless people, and a lot of times the people are homeless because they have mental illness, and they will come up and talk to you in the SEPTA station and stuff, and that. Shut up, foreigner.
I'm not a foreigner, this is my country.
Shut up.
You're the foreigner.
But
In
anyway,
my country, we have National Health Service that covers mental illness.
Shut up. But it felt too much like they were trying to hit a trope. And if they'd just been a little bit more creative with that, it would have been a lot more believable and a lot less convoluted.
Personally, I felt the line about little girls have to taught to be good was kind of alluding towards he was going out and killing people who slept around or something.
Maybe, but like again, we don't know.
We don't know.
I want to know why Parker was able to be inside the guy and be inside the dream realm at once.
Oh, maybe his mother wedged the girl side of him and the boy side of him apart so much that he had a split personality.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Does that mean that like what I thought had happened was he left what's his face, Josh, and she went in because all of a sudden little Parker is standing in the dream world, and she's like, "Parker, help us! Only you can help us." He's like, "Alright." I mean, it's you could take the set pieces and rearrange them, and cut out a lot of the shit that happened. Like there was like the beginning scene, with him in the 1986, and then there was a lot of just bullshit happening beforehand. If they slimmed down on the bullshit scenes,
It all jumped around.
yeah, it like kind of like, oh, we're trying to establish there's a ghost in the house. But if they cut down that part and really increase the investigation to the story, just like a good storyteller does in a tabletop RPG, that's the meat of it. That's what I want to know. Oh, an abandoned hospital? That's cliche, but I'll go for it. Like, oh, this like...
I'm going to give them credit for one thing. It's actually, they did something that I complained them not doing in The Conjuring. They did subtle things occasionally. Like just the woman walking down the hall, and then...
Yeah, or just sitting in a chair
Yeah,
as you
no,
walk by.
stop it.
That was good. That was
Yeah,
good.
they should shit like that. In the vlog for the Conjuring, I basically said that James Wan should have done that sort of shit. So good work, James Wan. I'm pretty sure that you didn't watch the vlog and then do that because this was filmed ages ago. But
Good work, anyway.
thank you. Although I have to say, the subtle thing, it's the sort of thing that almost never works, but it's nice that someone tries. It's like Blair Witch 2 did it with its Secret of Ezravir, but
The what?
Secret of Ezravir. It's a
I
thing
never
that-
saw Blair Witch 2.
Blair Witch 2,
That's
it was they basically had sections of Blair Witch 2 which had these subtle little things which were so subtle that you actually most people don't notice them.
Oh.
But then in the end they're like, check this shit out, and they're all like, you have to watch the film. Here's a code. Go back and watch the film. These parts of the films you can see them, and then they will reveal something to you. It's but
Buy the DVD. Oh, wait.
like their things were so subtle. You got like a shot is moving and someone goes off screen for a second, it comes back, and like the lock, the keyholes in this thing are slightly different than they were before, and now they're roughly like a pentagram, but you can only see a pentagram if you
So,
peek
like
over
the
it.
people who deconstruct The Shining for a living.
It's
Except the Blair Witch 2, they tried to do this kind of thing.
they didn't do it well at all.
Well,
But Steve, the Kubrick, The Shining, I am convinced that at least some of the stuff in The Shining is Kubrick doing it. Him doing
Well,
subtle
he was
shit.
crazy and killed puppies. We all know this.
Killed puppies.
He always told me, we watched The Shining, and she was like, Stanley Kubrick kills puppies.
I did
and he
not
shot this
say
one guy in
that.
the head, and then he caused World War II. He told Hitler what to do, all this stuff, and I was like, I'll never watch a Stanley Kubrick movie ever again. Thank you.
Stanley Kubrick was a brilliant.
He was a douchebag.
He was a brilliant.
Also, this guy, when he was being possessed, literally won the Douche of the Year award. Like, there was a point where, this guy, knocks on the door, and he turns, and I said, douchebag senses tingling.
I don't know why they had like beard guys got sent in. They got the two guys dressed like in disguises as Mormons who don't do anything.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. They were going to go and be like, have you heard about the Lord? Are you supernatural?
Why didn't the guy, whatever, he was like, oh look, this guy is clearly, possessed and all. Why couldn't he mention like, I could really do with some unicorn quesadillas or something?
That would have been great. That would have been so great.
But the
no, I just have to say, this film made me follow a thought process that is very, very strange. So, Josh has been kicked out of his body, and he takes the opportunity to try to play a song on the piano that the girl will recognise. The first time the piano was played in this movie, my thought was, if I was a ghost, I'd play a piano. Josh is a ghost.
They always seem to. Like, what if you're a ghost but you don't have any, musical talent?
one thing I'd like to see that, so we were doing pianos and we never
Because
saw
in the others, there's a piano scene.
you never saw the keys going down in it by themselves, and I was like, okay, are we gonna actually see someone, someone notice that the piano's playing without the keys going down? Are they gonna open the top and we're gonna see the strings being done, just from the inside?
Well, no, he was pushing the keys, and I think you have to have a lot of energy to manifest physically. So he was pushing the spiritual piano. It's like being a werewolf on the Umbra. He was pushing the spiritual piano.
Oh no,
keys.
it was the thing I was sad they didn't do. They could have. It would have been. I think it's a cool idea, scare thing where if you open the piano and it's like the keys aren't being pushed, but the actual
the
strings
thing-
are being.
yeah.
I never ever trust a grand piano. A baby that was technically a baby grand, but I never trust a grand piano set at the angles of the door that one does. After playing the haunted mansion, Boo's haunted mansion in Mario 64, which just has the piano sitting there, and he goes, "Ah, I'm gonna hit you!" And they're like, "It's a piano."
So always use a keyboard instead.
No, he's not right.
Toshiba.
The
Yeah,
beardy
that's just-
guy had his... Well, there's
I liked
several
him.
beardy guys. There was the young beardy guy and the older beardy guy. But he had this really... This is... Okay. Every single way that people use to contact the dead is the sort of thing that has to be interpreted, so therefore cannot be scientifically accurate. But this one is severely even worse, full of bullshit
it's
yeah.
than a Ouija board.
Except in his, rather than being like, someone would be like, oh, XZ7, that obviously means that you're going to die tomorrow. Like, these spelled out actually words, like full sentences. I was waiting for punctuation.
Yeah,
next.
eventually he did that. But he's like,
WTF.
He's got a bunch
First
of
time he's
dice.
like, "Is Lorraine, give us a sign that you're here," and he rolls the dice 4 times, and eventually he gets a Y over here, an E over here, and an S over here, and he's like,
And then
"Yes."
every other time after that, he rolls, and I swear to Christ, he gets full sentences.
It's a dice, and it's a set of dice, and they've all got letters on them. He throws it down, and then he's got to look for the right letters. Like,
He could roll like, Lorraine, are you a piece? Roll. Oh, it's a sad emoticon. I guess she's in hell.
how did the ghost do this? Because we saw the ghost manipulating real life things. They only do the same thing that people do. How the fuck could it grab them and out of the midair and put them down in the right way?
Because
That I don't know.
because time is immaterial.
Maybe they grabbed it before. I don't know.
Oh, did you notice the Conjuring thing? Okay, in the Conjuring, what do you call him? Patrick Wilson is playing Ed, and his wife is called Lorraine, who's got black hair. In this one, Patrick Wilson, he's not playing a guy called Ed, but his wife's called Lorraine, and she's got black hair.
Did anybody notice that?
No, Lorraine was the mom.
No, Lorraine was the wife. The mother was called Renee.
No.
Renee
Renee was the wife. Lorraine was the mom. Because
sure?
in the beginning, she says, "Oh, you like when Elise first comes to the door, she says, "Oh, you must be Lorraine."
Oh, okay. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did anybody else notice that Lorraine
Yes,
got
and
plastic surgery about halfway through the shooting?
Lorraine and Renee looked so alike. I was like, "Wow, he married a woman who looks just like his mother." Oh.
No,
Freudian.
I just sort of noticed that they must have shot some scenes later because you can tell because she quite clearly had some work done.
Oh, like some wrinkle lines around her face.
She's had work done. She's
Oh.
had implant or collagen done.
And you notice that Patrick Wilson, over the course of the film, he looks like he's auditioning for Stephen King's Thinner, a remake of the film.
Well, no, because the ghost inside him
I
was
know.
slowly slipping his.
I know but he looked like the guy from Thinner.
Oh. He looked a little bit like Mike Wilson.
She wrote a
Mike,
book.
what's
Mike
Nelson?
Nelson.
Yeah.
She wrote a book, The Girl Inside the Man Inside of Me.
You should complain.
It just.
Yes. Now, this film, if you look at it the exact opposite way around, says... Ugh, okay. So, guy who we can assume identifies as male is forced by his mother to identify as female. On pain of pain. And...
On pain of pain, I like that.
And then he becomes a serial killer. If this works, then every trans person out there who's being forced or to identify as sexual...
Well, no,
is a serial killer.
because see, that's the thing. He doesn't become a serial killer because of that. He becomes a serial killer because she forces him to kill.
But every trans person always a serial killer if they have any hint of gender fuckery about them.
Yeah, whenever a
But no, see, that's like I said, I interpreted that. When the little girl, the little girl Parker ghost in the present says to the psychic investigators, "You can't be here. If she finds you here, she'll make me kill you." And the mom ghost is urging Parker and Josh to kill people. So I read it the fact that he never wanted to be a girl. He never wanted to kill people, but his mother's crazy. And since his mother looks the same as the ghost in the past and now, I'm thinking, and again, probably maybe someone knows more, is that at some point she died and from beyond kept urging him to kill.
I'm just pointing out the fact that the story
This
of,
happens a lot in films.
I know, but I'm just saying for this, I don't think, I have seen that happen, but in this case, I think they intended something different, but they didn't really stress it.
I'm just saying that the whole sort of dialogue of, "No, I'm a boy. No, you're a girl and you'll dress like one and you'll act like one," is very familiar to a lot of people.
It's what I'm saying is that I don't think they were intending to have the unfortunate implications.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I have seen that happen, but in this case, I just think it was inadequate story.
But it's just this happens in so many horror films that it should be viewed upon as something. I don't know if you can call it really institutional, but there is some people have issues.
It's the same as black guy dies first and queer character dies horribly.
Yeah, a gay person, one member of a gay couple dies, the other one is sort of, they suffer.
Wait a minute, you wrote a whole entire script based off of that.
The lover in that was only brought in a later draft. The character that was to give them a reason for why they went crazy.
Oh, okay.
They went crazy beforehand because
Just
they were.
because.
If you go into any horror thriller movie and there's a black guy, a queer couple, and a straight couple who are very, very happy, one of the straight couple will die, but he will find another person in the party to pair up with afterwards, and they'll live happily ever after. One of the gay couple will die, and the other one will either go crazy and kill everybody else, or suffer in silence and be the stoic asshole for the rest of the film. And the black guy is going to be the first one to die.
It's one of these are tropes.
This is interesting information.
These are media tropes, and while it doesn't, not every the person who creates every film but uses these tropes is not bigoted. It's overall those tropes need to be dealt with. The main character Parker in this is pretty much an undead version of what do you call her from Sleepaway Camp?
I didn't see.
Sleepaway Camp is basically these two kids. The parents die in a boating accident. One of these two twins dies. The survivor lives with this aunt, and this aunt decides that they're going to raise this boy as their twin sister, Angela. That was it, and they became a serial killer character in like 5 films, and
Yeah.
it's.
Like over the course of 5 films, or for the duration of 5
Well,
films?
it was a slasher movie. The first one was a slasher movie. Then you revealed at the end that Angela's the killer,
And in every movie, Angela's the killer.
and then you reveal that Angela's actually Peter.
Stop hanging out with Angela.
Yeah, Angela had a sex change and became a cop in one of them.
Oh,
And then at the end of the 5th one, you reveal that the killer is actually this guy, this police chief who's got a crappy fake beard, and it's obviously played by a woman. And then it's suddenly revealed that the killer is actually the cop police chief is actually Angela, who's gone back.
how does she have time to rise to the position of police chief?
How does she have the time to actually go and murder everybody at this camp about 5 times in her lifetime?
I don't know.
It's just crazy.
Why do they keep reopening the place?
The trope.
It's a
Yeah.
stupid thing.
Whenever a subgroup have one of their stereotypes in media be serial killer, there's an issue. It's like, as far as I can tell, in film, trans people's stereotypes tend to be victim, something to do with sex, or serial killer.
No, they're sexual comedy relief, or they commit suicide, or they're serial killer.
Yeah, that's victim. But there's also like one prostitute and stuff, something to do with sex, something where they're a victim, serial killer. And it's troubling. It's like the gay guy stereotype, being
Really
rapist. Being some victim, dying, or
HIV positive?
yeah, that's connected to the victim one. And then you got sexual predator, and you've got someone who's there basically to be a joke.
Yeah.
Minorities still have absolutely terrible tropes connected to them, and it's really annoying.
What I see mostly with trans people in films is a misgendering joke. It's like, oh, she was a dude all along. I'm like, no, she wasn't. That's not funny.
Yeah, that's
That's the fucking...
that one could be connected with either victim or the sort of sex connected one. It's
If you find it intrinsically funny to have sex with somebody who is trans, you're an asshole.
Why did you put your finger in my ear? He was making like a political,
You're
a
part of the
statement.
problem. Go and die.
I messed you with your earlobes.
Now you've ruined his moment.
Well, no, I can tell people to die with you going,
Okay, that's fine.
or can I?
Oh, you know what? Here's something else. So, why did... Obviously the family had a connection to Parker and his mother because Lorraine was his doctor. And, what's-his-face? Josh was there. But it's not really clear... Like, it's kind of like, well, okay... Did something significant didn't happen besides him going, ah!
Josh was the last person he saw before he died?
But there were nurses and doctors because she rushed him out of the room and they were holding him down. And she says, the last time I saw him was, quote, a few days later. And they go, oh, well, he killed himself yesterday. So there was a few days in between, like, how did this connection happen? I mean, that's another thing that would have been really good to focus on.
Well, no, they did actually point out that people who are able to dreamwalk and people who are able to see the spirit world are a rarity. Maybe Josh was the only one he encountered and he latched onto that.
Yeah, maybe. I just would have liked to see at least a scene about that where, like, maybe see him dream death walking, and I don't know.
I think it's very, very vague.
Ooh, or this could have been cool. Oh. That's fine. This could have been cool. Have, one of those dream walking sessions where the people that reach out to him, the people that he hears calling, are the women who have been the victims of Parker Klein, and that's how he's led through the red door to the house built of Parker and his mother's memories, and it's because he was drawn by them that she finds the way back. That would have been really cool.
Well, the victims of Parker Klein were living in Josh's wardrobe. Did you not notice that?
The wardrobe was important, but I don't think it was the portal because the red door in the basement was.
I know, but all of the victims came out of the wardrobe, all of the female victims, and then
That's true.
It was that room where everybody was covered in sheets. Later, whenever he was looking for the girl and she was hiding amongst the victims.
No, because that room was in Lorraine's house, and he was in the room in Parker's mother's house.
All the houses look the same.
It's kind of
Half the women all look the same as well.
that's true.
Stupid white people looking all the same.
Like, I think that if I had a copy of the script, I could take a red pen, and I think I would write more stuff in there.
Oh, there's room for improvement. But
it was good. It was a good attempt, and it was entertaining, and I enjoyed it.
Very competently made. However, I'm saying competent. I'm not being very nice about it. James Wan, he shot his good at horror load with Saw.
I don't know. This was a lot better than The Conjuring.
He's not terrible. He's competent. The Saw was him sort of channeling a bunch of better films. This one he was trying to be original, and I'm not sure it worked.
One thing I didn't like was a lot of the out of focus camera angles. Is that like a horror thing? Because to
Yeah.
me it was kind of like
The
it made me
shaky
a
cam, the
little
bad
sick.
focus, the switching between handheld cameras and back. There was no need for that. Also, did you... I hate to bring this up because nobody cares apart from me. But if you're taking a still shot... If you are taking a long still shot where the camera does not need to move and it doesn't move, set it down. You do not need somebody to be holding it going, I'm looking at your face right now. I have bad reactions to my medication. Oh no, I'm not a good tripod. You do not need that in your film. Please stop doing it. It's really distracting. It throws me right out of the movie.
Yeah, and don't have the person be in focus and everything else, because I like to look at details, like what props have been put on the wall.
Also,
And what kind of, like the kid's rug, I had a rug like that.
Did you notice that there was a doll in one of the houses that looked like the doll from Korn, the band? It was like one of their album covers.
something like that did strike me, but I can't
It
explicitly
was like
remember.
there for a little bit, and it looked like it. It was a similar sort of color and shape, and I would be interested to see if anyone. Is it a reference? I wouldn't put it past James Wan.
Maybe
He's the right age.
maybe Parker
for
Klein
Korn
listened to
Man.
too much Korn, and that's what. Finally, we have questions, and it looks like they're not going to be answered in Insidious 3.
I don't know what she saw at the end, by the way. The end credits is...
That was so hokey. She's like, "Oh my God,
I'm going to assume,
Insidious!"
I'm going to assume that she saw her god.
Okay.
At the end,
It was Jesus all along.
Leviathan,
I killed those kids.
Leviathan, Lord of the Labyrinth. Hellraiser 2 reference. Sorry.
It's never Jesus.
The
though.
thing at the end. You know what the film turned into at the end for the thing for the Insidious 3?
The stinger.
The singer, yeah, it turned into the Frighteners.
But I liked that he was eating a Hot Pocket. That was a nice touch. I liked that guy. The guy with the full beard, the lone gunman kind of, I liked him because he looked like somebody that I would probably have hung out with in high school.
It's the Frighteners if Michael J. Fox was the dead one and the two comic relief were the front men.
Yeah,
rather
like
than reversed.
I would totally see a movie where it's just those two bumbling idiots bumbling around with the help of her on the ghost side doing stuff if she was able to communicate with them, but only tangentially. I'd watch that. And with a bearded guy too, that'd be
They'll
good.
probably do that for the third film.
It's like Ghostbusters with a ghost ally.
It's like Ghostbusters with an IT
That's
professional and a guy who plays D&D
That's what
professionally.
they were planning for Ghostbusters 3, for Venkman to be dead, helping them out as a ghost.
That'd be pretty
But Bill Murray refused.
Well, he's always a problem, isn't he? That's what I have to say about that.
Bill Murray's never the solution. He is the problem.
I think we're about finished.
That's what, yeah. That's,
Final thoughts?
Better than The Conjuring. Fucking Conjuring!
Saying it's better than The Conjuring isn't saying much.
It was much better than Blue Jasmine, that Woody Allen movie I saw with Mikey.
Better than it's better, The Conjuring, which was a tiny bit worse than being anally raped by a car.
What?
The The Conjuring was
You're
released.
lying. You're lying. You're both lying.
Well, it depends what appendage the car is using. If it's using the gear stick, I'm pretty sure I could enjoy it.
The Conjuring is like
Oh, you have
it's
a
like a
manual
sequel
transmission.
to the crappy remake of The Haunting.
Yeah. Tell you what.
It was okay.
Like, fuck off, Patrick Wilson. I stop working with that guy. It's confusing. Although nice to see Leigh Whannell again.
is she?
There he is, being his not very
Okay.
good at acting self. He was the beardy Mormon.
No, I liked him. He was awesome. He's totally like somebody that you meet at MagFest.
He was amusing.
He reminds me so much
He's not
of
a
my
very good
friend
actor,
Eddie.
though. But he's not a good actor. But he's amusing to watch.
Yes.
He's basically my friend Eddie from high school, and in every single way, the bravado, the mannerisms, and I was like, Eddie? And it made me sad.
Leigh Whannell,
Talking to you
James,
through the movie.
James Wan and Leigh Whannell,
Fine,
they're both
Insidious.
Australians.
Oh.
Whannell also wrote. Well, he wrote Saw and he acted in Saw. He was the guy who was in the room with Carrie Elwes and cut his leg off. Well, his foot off.
I didn't see Saw.
See, Saw was very good.
Seesaw.
Saw was very good. Those two didn't have very much to do with Saw 2 and on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the Saw series is not the worst horror franchise in the world.
It's
by
not a horror
far.
franchise at all. It's a gore franchise.
No, it's not. It's a horror franchise.
It's torture porn.
No, it's not. You want torture porn? Do you?
No,
can
I
provide
don't.
Torture porn.
I've watched
You
torture.
probably could.
Slaughtered Vomit Dolls trilogy
Oh.
is parts of that are.
Boy meets whatever.
Well, it's girl. You could make the argument.
It's torture porn.
You could make the argument. If the torture porn is something that people throw the term around still very, very loosely. It's like the idea of calling people militant.
Yeah, well, you're a militant torture porn enthusiast.
Unless you've got a film which is a porno, which instead of nudity, you've got, or they're all naked and they're just torturing each other, and it looks like torture, looks real. It's not torture porn. It's a film with violence.
I've starred in tickle torture porn.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's fair enough. But this Saw is not torture porn.
So
Saw has violence.
we're split on it, obviously.
It's a horror franchise with violence.
This is like our super special edition vlog. Because you got both of us here.
Yeah, this is going to be a tone. This is going to be like Cuckoo Clocks of
Collectible.
Hell, because it's going to be the marrying of the two styles of the vlogs, and it's not going to work at all because though each one's nice, put them together just creates this sort of mishmash and it doesn't quite work.
That's true. You're like, let me talk about this obscure reference. I mean, I'm just saying it. I think things and stuff. And I'm like, well, stylistically, I think if you did this to the plot and that to the plot, I could have got it. I could have.
Well, we just messed around for most of ours.
Yeah, that's true.
What am I then? A wild card who goes off in tangents about
No,
stupid things?
You know, because like you guys have, like when I watch your vlogs, you have a different chemistry than we do.
Yeah, because we play off each other. It's
You just like you go back and forth in a feedback loop of yeah, but things and stuff. Well, I hated that. That was crap. That was like the time we did things and stuff. And I'm like, oh well, I thought on the ride home.
yeah, our ones are more intellectual. Our ones are more scattershot.
No, because I'll try to say that and you'll be like, tits. And I'm like, but oh.
I occasionally talk about sort of more upbeat market things,
And I occasionally talk about tits.
but our ones are entirely scattershot. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be like a mix. What we need now is a music video at the end.
Like a Bollywood video?
Bam, 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 ba-dum. Bam, 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 ba-dum. Bam, 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 ba-dum.
Tits.
Say goodbye.